Thaslim,
Yes, sir.
could you please introduce yourself to the board?
Myself, Thaslim M. from Malappuram, Kerala. I'm a homeopathic doctor and holding a post graduation in homeopathy. I have been working as an assistant professor, and my areas of interest are nutrition science. I like doing Wadli art and anchoring. My career, I made a switchover, and I would like to pursue for civil services to enter into the coveted service, Indian Administrative Service.
You are doing so well in homeopathy.
Yes, sir.
You have been working for a few
Yes,
years
sir.
already. What is it that motivates you to repeatedly take the civil service exam? I admire the fact that you are determined in achieving what you wish to do.
Yes.
But what is it that motivates you particularly in thinking of changing your career and coming into public service like this?
So while I was doing my post graduation and after my practice also, I thought of utilizing my potential to a larger extent. I came across a number of diseases among women, children. I thought that more than giving consultation and medicines, I believe that I could utilize my potential to fuller extent to help them for decision making with respect to policies and do my part for the nation building, sir. So I thought to appear for this exam, sir.
What is your assessment of medical general health facilities in remote parts of India? You think that we are coming closer to providing necessary, adequate medical access to people in all parts of India?
So, with respect to the medical health facilities in India, when we consider the number of doctors, it is 1:1,000 that is being prescribed by World Health Organization. We have a number of 1:800 doctors, including the Ayush doctors, sir. So, but the ratio, it is highly skewed. There is some problem of accessibility, especially in the rural areas. There is concentration of health facilities more towards the urban areas. So there is a problem with respect to that. Rural areas, the people have issues in accessing it. Secondly, I would say there is the issue of out-of-pocket expenditure which is rising, especially with respect to the secondary and tertiary care. The patients, even if they take their treatment and consultation in the medical colleges of government, they have to go out to buy medicines from outside, diagnostic services from private institutes. But we have a number of schemes, especially the Jan Aushadhi Kendras, which provide medicines in very lower cost. Then insurance scheme of Ayushman Bharat, empaneling the hospitals. We are seeing changes, and we are in a way to getting to the WHO standards. We are seeing a hopeful scenario with respect to that, sir.
Ayushman Bharat
Yes, sir.
is a much celebrated program. Now, I know an elderly lady who requires some treatment for varicose veins. And she has the Ayushman Bharat card, which is called PM Jan Arogya Yojana card and so on. There's also a list of hospitals which are supposed to provide treatment under the scheme. I know that she has been to several of those hospitals, and none of them are prepared to accept the card. Unless she comes up with some 80,000 rupees, she is not getting treatment in Trivandrum in any of these hospitals which are listed as. What is the problem?
Sir, as you said, there is a problem. The empaneled hospitals are not ready to take up and offer the treatment without the patient coming with the amount. The problem is with respect to the issues that the government has to give back that amount which the hospital has spent. There have been delays in that, so that have led to the reluctance from the part of hospitals in providing prompt treatment. That would have led to that, sir.
So, in the health area, if such a celebrated scheme is not working to the benefit of economically disadvantaged, what do you think can rectify that situation if you come into the civil service? What is your solution? If the government has no money to implement programs which are announced with certain objectives in mind, what can a civil servant do to alleviate that?
Sir, as you said, the problem is with respect to the budgetary allocation towards the health. It has not reached the level that has been prescribed by the National Health Policy 2017. With respect to it, first thing is we have to be able to give quality health care, but at a cheaper cost. One, we can go for a public-private partnership models in the healthcare so that we can offer quality and cheaper healthcare services. Secondly, we can ask for the personnels of doctors as well as the allied healthcare services to offer a help hand as a part of our community services so that the persons from the underserved categories will be benefited from, sir. Then regulation of the diagnostic services and pharmaceutical prices is essential so that we can offer quality healthcare at lower prices, sir. These are the three things I would take, sir.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Morning, Thaslim.
Good morning, sir.
What does the word Thaslim mean?
Sir, Thaslim, it originates from the Arabic word, and the root word is salam, which we say while greeting the people. Thaslim, the word means salutation, greetings, etc.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, sir.
When we look at homeopathy and other systems of medicine, we find a kind of sustained antagonism between or amidst all these streams of medicine. What if cure is the ultimate aim for all systems of medicine? Why should there be this antagonism? The MBBS people looking skewed towards the Homeo people and the other systems of medicine, claiming that they are better than others, and Homeo people claiming that we are the best. Why can't there be a kind of an agreement as to all of us are equals when it comes to treatment and cure?
Sir, as you said, there is some antagonism which is happening in between the different systems of medicine. First thing I would say is that the differences in the philosophies on which these systems are based, those are being questioned by each other. For example, if homeopathy is considered, that was founded and established by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, who himself was an MBBS MD doctor at that time. But he put forth the philosophy that is similia similibus curanda. Diseases can be treated with medicines which can produce the symptoms similar to that medicine. So there is contradiction with respect to the basic philosophies between these systems. Secondly, it is with respect to the question regarding the scientificity among the medicines. Modern medicine always criticizes that traditional medicines do not have the scientific basis which is in parlance with the present chemistry and physics. Thirdly, it is with respect to the cross referrals we don't have. Once a patient who is being under homeopathic treatment for some months or years comes to an allopathic physician, he will criticize it and vice versa happens. So there is a need for, as sir suggested, an integration. National Health Policy has suggested for cross referrals, co-locations, etc.
Okay, so you are hopeful of a
Yes,
kind
sir.
of a symbiosis.
Yes, sir, surely, sir.
Okay. You are interested in nutrition.
Yes, sir.
But when you look at the history of nutrition, we find that there has always been a kind of a crust trough kind of a diagram. At a certain point of time, a particular food would be considered highly nutritious, and at a certain other point of time, it would be considered not so good enough for the system. Have you ever thought of this kind of a crust trough pattern when it comes to nutrition? Right now, millets is considered to be something that one ought to take.
Yes, sir.
Maybe 10 years from now, millets would be considered dangerous to
Yes,
health.
sir.
Now, why is this happening?
Yes. Yes, sir, said absolutely. I have looked with respect to milk also, sir. Previously, it was considered a complete food, but now there are questions arising. I think that is with respect to the studies. Advancements in the researches would have resulted that. Second, there is conceptions as well as misconceptions with respect to the food. And I think, sir, there is maybe some communities will require nutrition of some standards and other would require nutrition of some other standards. Basically, the problem is, I think, the changes, the skewed thing, this crust and trough is occurring due to the scientific reports from different parts of the world, sir. I mean, in the case of millets, presently we see it as the superfood, nutraceutical food like that. In the coming years, maybe some more studies would prove. And I think the genetic changes will be there, which will make man to be susceptible to different diseases, and the ability to assimilate the nutrients would be different, sir. So such things would happen.
Now, there are many doctors who write good literature.
Yes, sir.
Can you name 2 doctors who have contributed to the world of literature also?
One doctor, I think, is about one good literature, sir.
Literature, yeah. I was sorry for the word good.
Shall I think up for a second,
Yeah,
sir?
yeah, please go ahead.
I can remember only one person who has my name. Thaslim and Nasrin is a physician, sir.
But was she a doctor?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I
She
see.
was a doctor. She studied in Bangladesh.
Yeah, yeah.
After
I know.
that, she turned into writing. Her writings were more of controversies. That's why I asked about that, sir.
No, but she's a great writer. There are many great writers. Like, for example, recently they have published a book called Covenant of Water, written by a great doctor, Abraham Verghese.
Okay.
So these are some of the names that you should remember. Then there is, of course, Siddhartha Mukherjee, who wrote about cancer.
Okay, I'll read it, sir.
He has written other books also. Then Kalanidhi, Paul Kalanidhi.
When breath becomes air.
Yeah, when breath becomes air. One interesting point I want to highlight is that, in the Covenant of Water, this Dr. Abraham mentions this expression, when breath becomes air, but he does not attribute it to the writer.
I'll read it, sir.
Yeah, that's a great book you have to read.
Thank you.
And one more question, what is this Warli art?
Yes, sir. Warli art is a tribal art. It is a ritualistic art that is performed by the tribals, Warli tribals in Maharashtra as well as Gujarat-Maharashtra border. They use geometrical figures to draw this art.
Why should a homeo doctor from Malappuram be interested in Warli?
Sir, I got this interest once I got a salwar. On the dupatta, there were geometrical figures. Then I googled about these and I found out that the Warli art is specifically using these geometrical figures. It is simple, but it says about the whole life of the tribals of the Warli region. So I started drawing that. It is easy to draw, but it looks very beautiful once it is done.
Once it is done.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I see. Very good. And anchoring, what was the one great lesson you learned from anchoring?
One great lesson I learned is we should be able to accustom to and face whatever situation it comes. If it is unexpected, we should be able to make ourselves pleasant and should be able to engage the audience, sir. This is the basic lesson I learned.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thaslim,
Sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
We have listened to some discourse on, need for doctors to heal India. We have a national mission, Heal by India. You heard of that?
Yes, sir.
So you're looking at 2 opposite pictures. India turning a healer for the world and healer for itself. Which side are you on? Would you like to migrate or would you like to stay back?
In my personal opinion, I always like to stay back in India only. Yes. I never thought of migrating, sir.
Why do doctors migrate?
So, first reason, I would say Indians migrate because they are highly skilled. Their skill is suitable for the needs of the world. They can go wherever and they can get adapted to the situations, and their skill performance is exemplary, that it is told that the foreign countries, they think that Indian personnels of health, they can manage each and every situation. First thing is that the quality of education provided. Second thing, there is the problem with respect to the lack of facilities and employment opportunities, which is a quality jobs which the doctors expect to, with respect to wages and the standard of living. Thirdly, in my opinion, I would say that many migrate to Western countries in search of aesthetic appealing cities. In my opinion, I would say they feel that the pollution problem and the other problems are not aesthetically appealing to them. If they get a better standards of living, they are migrating for the
Fair
next
enough.
generation.
What was your optional, Thaslim?
Sociology was my
Sociology.
option. So.
Can you, looking at your own backyard, home state of Kerala, what are some of the social problems, contemporary social problems you get to face? And as an administrator, what are your prescriptions?
First and foremost problem, I would say it is the patriarchy which is deep rooted. It is a paradox. Despite the emancipation of women, we do have that. Secondly, it is the absence of women or lesser participation of women in the labor force, I would say. Third is with respect to the evils like dowry, such problems. Fourth, I would say it is about education. We have the quantity, but we have to do more work with respect to the quality of education.
What is the distinction between uniform civil code and a common civil code?
So, uniform civil code, I would say that is being depicted in our directive principles of state policy, and that is for adopting a civil code which is similar and same for all the communities of India, where whatever be the religion, instead of the personal laws which we do have, we are attempting for a uniform civil code.
So, do you reckon it will be a panacea for such social evils in your words, your own words?
So, uniform civil code, in my opinion, I would say that it must be established. Point one is that as a woman, I would say it will ensure gender parity, especially with respect to the religion which I follow. There is the problem of inheritance, then with respect to marriage, in which man has got a higher hand. So, I would say that uniform civil code can bring uniformity. If we do have the same criminal laws for everybody in the country, I used to think, why can't we
Do you have
a
any
civil-
state in India which is having this?
Yes, sir.
policy?
Goa, we have Goa, sir.
Okay, now coming back to Warli art, have you seen Bangalore City Station? There is a very interesting depiction of Warli art in public space.
I have not seen. I have seen pictures of Mumbai, sir.
Mumbai,
Not
yeah.
Bangalore. I have
Okay.
not seen, sir.
So, how do you rate the scope for public art in public places? If you were art in public space, what is your take?
Sir, art being exhibited in the public space, sir. Sir, it will give much importance for the community which is representing it, and our culture and traditions can be respected. But another problem is we should respect that art. There have been some issues of mutilation of art which has been kept in the public spaces, installations, etc. in many parts. So, these two must be considered, sir.
You recall M.F. Hussein's experience?
Yeah, I recalled, now I recalled about another one, some installations which was kept in, I think one city, in an airport, I think, sir. There were some animal figures and that was mutilated and that was seen in the news. I cannot recall from where. So that's.
What is strategic autonomy which we are getting to hear of late? Should India pursue the course of strategic autonomy in our in shaping the course for new international order, NIO and international relations?
Yes,
What
sir.
do you feel should be India's stand?
Yes, sir. With respect to India's foreign policy, India always stands for the strategic autonomy. It's a need of the hour in which India has to face different types of nations. For example, the trap diplomacy of China, the issues of war.
But don't you think that we are getting into a trap of contradictions, trying to juggle with contradictions, and are we able to resolve them effectively?
Sir, in my opinion, I would say that strategic autonomy is a positive point which India need to face each and every adversities and reap opportunities from it, sir. Whatever be the issue, sovereignty of India is important. So India cannot stand with the sanctions which are being offered by other nations. So considering humanitarian aspects, the trade aspects of India, to progress into the developed nation which India dream for, strategic autonomy is important. So
Thanks. That's
thank you, sir.
Thaslim, something is going to happen in Ayodhya on January 16th. The Prime Minister of India has appealed to all Indians to light a diya on January 22nd, which happens to be Ram Leela Day.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think what the Prime Minister is doing is in stark contrast to what is written in the Constitution about secularism, especially since Ayodhya is a very controversial issue, and the timing is also very controversial. And what the Prime Minister has said might definitely hurt a section of the society emotionally. What is your take on the Prime Minister's statement?
Indian Constitution stands for a positive secularism, sir. We do not separate religion from the state. So our Prime Minister, he has been vocal about the Ram Mandir which is being constructed. I would like to see it in 2 points, sir. One is with respect to a person's freedom to propagate and profess the religion of his choice. So once we consider him as a person, that is his right to say that. Secondly, I would say more than the religious aspect, there are cultural aspects behind Ayodhya. As we say India, Bharat, we have historical ties with respect to this place. And in association with the Ram Mandir, there is the development of the railways as well as the airport being carried on. In a cultural and economic aspect, surely this brings much importance for the country. Thirdly, as you suggested about the marginalization or the insecurity feeling which would rise among the minorities. One thing that is the cultural aspect can be considered. Second, whatever theme is being taken by the ruling government, they have to make it by creating least impact on the rest of the society. If that is being carried out, and if he can include all the societies and communities as he did with respect to the Christmas celebrations which was carried out by calling all the priests and people, if that can be carried out to all the religions and celebrations can be made with respect to all the religions, then that
will
would
neutralize the impact
yes,
of what
sir,
you said.
I would suggest in such a way. It is his right to profess and propagate the religion of his choice.
Unfortunately, it's the Prime Minister of
Yes,
India,
sir, that
right?
is so. That is the that is the issue with respect to a post that being carried out by a person. So, if that is done, that is to be done with least impact on the rest of the community, sir. That I would say.
So, you are interested in nutritional science.
Yes, sir.
There has been a lot of debate and lot of research about studies to reverse diabetes through nutrition therapy. Are you aware of that?
I'm not much aware. I have just heard about it, sir. No thorough reading regarding it, sir.
I've heard about the works of Dr. Roy Taylor about reversing diabetes through nutritional therapy.
Sorry, sir. I have to read it, sir.
Forget about it. Your optional for the mains has been sociology.
Yes, sir.
You must be apprehensive about the increasing trend of suicides in India,
Yes, sir.
especially in your state of Kerala.
Yes, sir.
Do you recall the suicide rate of Kerala as per the latest National Crime Records Bureau statistics?
In Kerala, sir.
Yes.
In Kerala, I don't know. I yesterday read only about the student suicides in India only, sir.
Yeah, how many students committed
35 students commit suicide per day in India, whole India.
Okay.
Only
So,
that I can recall.
what is the total number in a year?
Yes, that will be a huge number, sir. More than reaching thousands.
Okay, again, the thing is that what could be the reasons for increasing suicides, especially in the post-pandemic era, and what are your solutions for that?
So first thing is regarding, I would say that in a psychological and sociological aspect, there is a mismatch between the aspirations of the students or general people and they fail to get it done. Secondly, success by the society is always considered to achieving materialistic things. Thirdly, there are mental health issues, increasing stress and problems associated with marital relationships and lack of job. And I think, sir, the issues with respect to poverty is there, and also among well-settled families, there are problems with respect to relations, everything, sir. So these are the things I would say.
Which is the district with lowest suicide rate in Kerala?
Malappuram district.
Has it anything to do with the spiritual beliefs of that district?
Yes, sir. I think, sir, that is there. Being very calm, whatever be the situations. We used to say being patient to the adversities of life. Maybe that factor would have made people to adjust with the situations, and suicide is not a panacea for everything like that.
Do you think that any particular religious belief protects you from suicide?
Sir, with any religion, sir?
Any particular religion? Is there any statistics like that?
Statistics, I don't know, sir. But I think among Muslims it is low, I think, as far as my knowledge is true. And
What could
also,
be the
I
reason?
think, a reason is this, like we should not take the life that is being given by the God. We used to say that. With respect to statistics, I am not aware, sir.
Okay, again, during the time of pandemic, most of the treatment was confined to modern medicine
Yes, sir.
initially, but homeopathic practitioners were very vocal about the availability of preventive medicines.
sir.
Once you get into civil service, will you influence the authorities to ensure that in future, if such pandemics or epidemics come, homeopathic practitioners will also get an equal priority, and those medicines will also be allowed to be used right from the first phase itself?
Sir, the Central Council of Research in Homeopathy did research with respect to the efficacy of homeopathic medicines in the treatment as well as prevention of COVID-19. Their research results have been published out. Another research was also carried out in Kerala from the Department of Health, homeopathic doctors. So their results have proved that the efficacy has been proved. The problem was with respect to the number of the cases they treated. So more studies are to be carried out, and if proved very efficient, with respect to the numbers, surely I would roll out my efforts to utilize it, sir.
Okay, the central government is planning something called an integrated healthcare training by incorporating the elements of Ayush to modern medicine and vice versa. Some Puritans have raised apprehensions that it would take away the essence of Ayush treatment modalities, especially since you yourself have pointed out that there is a philosophical difference between the principles of homeopathy and modern medicine. Don't you think that this move by the central government would contaminate training in homeopathy and other Ayush specialities?
So this question put forth by the central government was mainly to meet the dearth of the number of health personnels in the service, sir. So first thing is, the reason is that, and with respect to integrating and that bridge course, as sir mentioned, there are diseases which have better scopes in homeopathy, and there are diseases which can only be treated by modern medicine. So when this question comes, if a person has got expertise in both the science, both the systems, then he can make sure which option will be better and the best for the patient.
But is a bridge course the real way to get expertise in a particular stream of medicine, or just like now, people who have trained in homeopathy can pursue MBBS in the full length? What would be a better option?
So once we check the curriculum of both the systems, in BHMS, BAMS, MBBS, we do study anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, community medicine, obstetrics, everything. So there is the subjects are same, but the present system we do have is completing 5.5 course of one system and then getting enrolled into another system. It will take around 11 years to complete. So that is a long duration. Once we consider the similar subjects are there, it is better to have a 2-year or 3-year course in which the philosophy and the application and the pharmacology of the different systems are taught. That will be the best way out, in my opinion, sir.
We have been focusing on health awareness classes for students and parents in schools. Is just awareness programs enough to solve most of the problems which students are having, or do we need a skill-based training for that?
Yes, sir. Sir rightly said that awareness is not enough, but awareness programs are the first step, sir. Once awareness is being created, then getting them skilled, getting them into the more nuances of the health, knowledge of health will be helping, sir. So as you said, sir, awareness must be followed by skilling, and we can do more with respect to nutrition and application of all these, sir. Awareness is just the first step, sir.
Are you aware of any skill-based training programs which have been proposed by UNICEF specifically targeted at students for health promotion, nutrition building healthy habits, anything like that?
I can recall only about menstrual hygiene, sir.
Have you heard the life skills education program?
I
Have you
haven't
heard about
sir.
that?
Sorry, sir. I will read it, sir.
Okay. And one more final question I would like to ask to you is, which do you think is a better method of healthcare for India? We have got the UK system in which public health is the mainstay, and we have got the US system in which insurance is dominating. Which do you think is better for a country like India?
For a country like India, I would suggest first and foremost is the preventive healthcare which we have to focus, considering India being the most populated country in the world. Second is we are in our demographic dividend phase, and after many years we will be having a large number of elderly population in India. Geriatric care has to be given more consideration. So I would say it is preventive, palliative and rehabilitative care that needed to be considered. Then considering the Kerala model of development in which we got much regards with respect to primary healthcare, that has to be more strengthened. Otherwise, there will be unnecessary burden over secondary and tertiary healthcare, considering the financial problems which we do have. So this is the model I would suggest, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Have you appeared for a UPSC interview?
No, sir, this is my first
This is your
interview,
first
sir.
opportunity. Have you attended several other interviews in other contexts?
Kerala PSC interview I have attended, sir. Medical
Also,
officer.
and numerous mock interviews like this?
4 I attended, sir.
4 mock
4,
interviews
sir.
you have already done. I find that you have supreme confidence,
Thank you, sir.
great eloquence, you organize your thoughts very well, and all the advice that is normally given to candidates, that you must have eye contact with the entire board, smile, be pleasant, all that you are observing. So apart from certain issues where you have not come across a particular book, doesn't
Haven't
matter.
heard,
It
sir.
doesn't matter. Those are things you are not expected to do. So I think overall you are doing extremely well.
Thank you, sir.
And I see no reason why the UPSC should anyway hold you back
Okay, sir.
on the interview front.
Okay, sir.
So all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
I don't have anything to say. I'm very happy.
Thank you, sir.
But my only piece of advice to you would be, don't get overcoached on this interview training.
Yes.
You have the right,
Understood, sir.
potential.
Understood, sir.
There should be chinks in the armor that the board would want to see. if you have any drawbacks, let the board see it.
Okay, sir.
Now, the board might not be looking for the perfect civil servant.
Okay, sir.
Okay, they would be looking for a trainable civil servant.
Okay. Thank
So
you, sir.
I think you stand a very good chance.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
I fully endorse my co-members' views on this. You seem to have seen it all, experienced it beforehand, When you communicate to us, I get a feeling that we are talking to a veteran interview taker of sorts, very mature and kind of, but certain responses, as he mentioned just now, perhaps could be tuned to look at the board also these days. They are it's a cat and mouse game kind of affair. What responses are tailor-made for an interview-like situation in a controlled environment? The board gets to know, judging the way in which you respond. You've gone through the coaching regime. They're quick to catch on that. So what happens is, in an interview situation, just to unsettle you, there could be a set of randomness creeping into the interview session. They ask from variety of sources. They cut short. They ask a barrage of questions, or they probably try to stress you out a bit. But I'm sure that you have in you the positive temperament to counter all that.
Thank you, sir.
Rational, well thought out answers, structured, very well structured, but certain nuanced expressions give an sort of what should I say, a revealing feature that you have gone through this coaching process. Maybe having attended many interviews, get to have a feel of what it is all about at a much higher level, a more mature level maybe. But having served as, as a professor and all, assistant professor, you were
Yes, sir,
serving
I
as
was
assistant
working.
professor. I'm sure that does.
Okay, sir.
Please read a bit about your homestead, Tirur,
I'll read, sir.
the Maplar rebellion.
Mm.
You have the wagon tragedy.
Yes,
All
sir.
those are stock questions sometimes, because the board also, you should consider their age. They're all 60 years plus, obviously, most of them, except maybe for a couple of subject experts who are co-opted into the board.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, I have nothing more to say. Very happy, and I'm sure that you'll go to ace the interview. It's a question of getting a score beyond the par score of, let's say, 170, 180. You should be looking close to the 200 mark, in my estimate.
I'll try, sir. Okay, sir.
How did you perform in your, what's your own self-estimate in your mains?
I don't know, sir. I have done better in sociology paper 1. I have attended all the answers. Maybe I might lose some marks over there, sir. Otherwise,
No, I'm sure a person like you would have given original expressions and analysis in your, so you have that ability in you.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Doctor?
Thaslim, it was an extremely impressive performance.
Thank you, sir.
Great. But since you have given such a great performance, we need to give you a couple of feedback so that you can do it even one step better for the interview. Number one is just like what the chairman of the board told, eye contact. So in real civil service, it is going to be a semicircular kind of a fashion in which the chairman will be sitting opposite to you, 2 people on the right side, 2 people on the left. So start by answering by maintaining eye contact with the person who asked the question, then shift to other people. Try to maintain eye contact with each of the members for roughly 5 seconds time, so that every person feels attended. That is very important, because even though one person is asking the question, everybody is evaluating. So that is one thing which you can try to practice in the coming days. And another thing is, we have asked you reasonably controversial questions to see how you respond to that. The way in which you responded was wonderful. Only one area where you became slightly defensive was regarding the Prime Minister's question,
Yes.
when, your facial expression was like, will I run into trouble, sort of.
Yes, sir.
Sudden, such a facial expression. But the answer you gave was wonderful, It
Yes,
was very secular. The answer subscribed to the Constitution of India.
Politically correct.
Politically correct.
But I was thinking, that is my own opinion. But as sir said, I felt it, sir, myself.
So it is possible that you may be asked such a question. So be prepared for that. So other than that, most of the other areas you have gracefully answered. You have admitted your ignorance also gracefully. That is a wonderful thing. So there could be factual questions which you may not be able to answer. You need not.
I will refer
So
it, sir.
just gracefully admit your ignorance. And the statement that I'll read it today itself, I'll refer it today itself, that was even more graceful. Just be well prepared about everything you have written about yourself in the DAF. So nutritional science means just read a little bit about Roy Taylor's reverse diabetes, because people who are elderly who may be having diabetes might have read about
I will
it.
read that.
So such questions may come. Other than that, it was a wonderful performance. All the best. There is no reason why you shouldn't crack it this time. Take care of your health. Don't get out of your home for at least 1 week before the real interview. Don't catch any illnesses.
Okay, sir.
All the best.
Thank you so much.
Meanwhile, you can also train others how to appear for interviews. Okay? All the best.
You have a very good combination of cleverness and intelligence.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's very rare to be found among aspirants. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Remove the mic.
But earlier attempts, Thaslim, you reached the main stage and
Sir,
then...
this is the first mains I am giving. So I couldn't clear
earlier.
prelims. 2 times I couldn't clear the general, both the CSAT I didn't clear last year. It was very tough for me, sir. The maths.
Doesn't matter. There's always a next time.
So this could be your
Yes, yes.
I hope so, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Amrita IAS Academy.